What's good, YouTube? So in a format that's been dominated by Burning Abyss and Monarchs for the most part, Pendulums had a mirror match finals at the ARG leading up to the ARG 25K. So let's talk about the Pendulum problem and how people see it. Because they've hit Pendulum so hard over and over and over, it's hard to justify where they'll hit it next. So my personal belief is that the problem with Pendulums is actually their accessibility rather than their mechanic to throw up a lot of monsters on the field. Throwing up and going bleh and having all your monsters out there is what Pendulums do. The problem with it is that it's forced to the advantage of the Pendulum player because they can search everything. Let's name off some cards that are searchers in all these Pendulum mechanics. Monkey Board, Joker, Sorcerer, Donkey. Donkey's not a Pendulum card, he just goes with that Perform Palette engine and is searchable by it. Pendulum Rising is a searcher card, but it has to sit in the monster of the graveyard, so it doesn't work that well with the mechanic. You have Summoner Monk in that mechanic, also summoning the Sorcerer. You have Scout. You have, what else here? Every single Magispector except for Unicorn. The QB searches out any trap that you might need. Boombuku searches even Boombuku. The Toad searches out, I believe, spell or trap. I think it sets it. They all just seem to search anything. And I think the Neko searches anything in the end phase. So every single Pendulum mechanic seems to have a refined search engine. And that's what they hit with Queefort, and that's what they hit from Full Power Pepe, is that they hit the searchability. Now, the mechanic itself is very powerful, and that's what makes it a good deck. You're able to overpower any field. You're able to break the board, so to speak, but it's super plus because you're controlling where it goes throughout the turn. If you could not have all this searchability, Face Off is another searching card. If you could not have all this searchability, then you would have the problem of relying on your draws and it would not do nearly as good in a tournament. So let's go ahead and talk about some of these matchups. Almost every single matchup, I would say, even the mirror match, ends up relying heavily upon Ignister and Utopia the Lightning. Now, Utopia the Lightning is not available in Europe, so I would assume they more so rely on Ignister and attacking. But Utopia the Lightning seems to take care of every single problem that could be thrown up on the board. A big Monarch, a ship, a Dark Destroyer, anything. Anything that's a problem, Lightning is there for you. It just brings it. It can take care of pretty much anything, even monsters that would make it so you can't react. Like, it just takes care of them. So, Lightning is really one of the best tools that Pendulums actually have, but the thing is they can have other stuff with it. When they on the board, you have Castell to take care of other problems. You have Diamond Dyer. You have so many other things, even if it's Dweller, which usually doesn't combo with Lightning. You have options for everything. You can make defense after with Giant Hand. It's just so many things because of everything allotted to you, because you put on the board, but you can only put on the board because you search everything. So, realistically, my thoughts are, if we're going to go into the next ban list hitting Pendulums, again, you have to restrict the searchability rather than the mechanic itself, because the mechanic's been introduced to the game. It's here, you got to deal with it. And that's how it's been with every mechanic I introduced. Xyz, Synchro, everybody's always been, oh, this is so broken, you don't need polymerization to summon from the extra deck, that's amazing, that's too good for the game. Xyz, you don't even need a tuner to summon from the extra deck, like, you think with the old restrictions. So now there is a mechanic, and the problem more so is like one card scales, like Monkey Board, rather than, you know, and the Monkey Board also searches. It's more so these kind of things, like Scout is also a one card scale. And then you have crazy things where the mechanics mix, and you have Sky Iris, and you go, you play the Magician build, and you go Summoner Art for Scout, K, Scout Search Monolith, K, activate Sky Iris, pop Scout, or activate Master, pop Scout, and then set your scale and make a Cyber Dragon Infinity with your play for 1 card that you also got for free with Sky Iris if you got the optimal combo. So you just have all these crazy things that happen within Pendulums, and yet oftentimes, as we see in the YCSs, it's not enough now because it's been so choked for its searchability already. But if you're going to be hitting the other decks in the ban list, you have to hit this again somehow. Monkey board, maybe. It might be all it takes to hurt the engine, but you really have to do something with it moving forward once you hit everything else, because it will have the advantage. And we see that ARG in Florida has a concentrated field of a lot of the best players. There wasn't like almost any joke spot in that top 16. Like there was a field of killers and practiced players. So it was really good to see like the field dwindle down to 2 Pendulum decks in that kind of an environment. And I think another huge thing about Pendulum is this. There is no bad matchup. For Cosmos, you have Monarchs. Monarchs is a terrible matchup. With Burning Abyss, Magispectors is a terrible matchup. But with the typical Pendulum deck, there is no terrible matchup. Demise decks don't do it. You have actually extra tools and Master against Demise, both to summon and attack and pop things. So you have a very strong deck that just has no bad matchup, but it doesn't really have a good matchup. And I would say Cosmo is the toughest, but there's so much back and forth play, and if they can't capitalize early, you just blow through them. So the problem, again, I want to stress with Pendulum, this is an open form discussion. I want to hear all your thoughts about Pendulum. And my opinion is the searchability rather than the recurrence. Now, a lot of you might deal with problems with the recurrence. You can just make a big board and make it defensive against the average deck that's not another Pendulum deck and see what they'll do and recur your resources. This is a common theme. And they made cards to limit this ability like Strike. Solemn Strike helps limit that mechanic. You have multiple cards in the format that help against that. But in my opinion, the strongest suit of Pendulums is actually their ability to toolbox their deck. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. I'm definitely open to a discussion on this one. I personally think Pendulums are fine where they're at, but again, if you do hit other things, you gotta hit this. Thanks for watching, guys.
Be sure to subscribe and also check out the Zodiac Facebook and stream. The links are below. And always feel free to comment and talk about these videos.